could possibly use are growing wild in ditches, abandoned lots, and maybe even your own backyard. Most people don't know this. But while we're all running to the drugstore for every cut, cough, and ache, there are plants out there that have been healing humans for thousands of years. These are plants with actual clinical evidence backing them up. Today, I'm going to show you 20 forgotten medical plants that will change the way you think about natural healing forever. Stick around because number 17 on this list has the ability to disrupt the protective biofilms of bacteria. Number 19 is an old-growth forest antimicrobial that fights antibiotic-resistant strains. And especially number 20. A plant that has been used for over 2,000 years in modern science just confirmed works against antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Welcome to ancient herbal wisdom. Let's uncover the truth and explore. 20 primitive antibiotics ranked from impressive to absolutely incredible. Top 1. 2-5 The Wilderness First Responders 1. Calendula, the flower of war. Let's start with calendula, also called pot marigold. And this bright orange flower has one of the most battle-tested reputations in herbal medicine. Medieval soldiers carried calendula flowers into war specifically for treating cuts and wounds on the battlefield. They called it the war flower because when you had nothing else, no surgeon, no antibiotic sit could keep a wound from getting infected and help it heal clean. Modern clinical trials have proven that the flowers are packed with compounds called triterpenoids and flavonoids that have genuine anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties too. Plantain. Weed, the trailside first aid kit. This is the plant that literally everyone has walked past 1,000 times and never noticed. Plantain weed grows in lawns, trails, and disturbed soil everywhere. And it's one of the most reliable first aid plants on earth. Studies show plantain has genuine wound healing, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial effects. Just chew a fresh leaf or crush it and apply it directly to a cut or insect bite, and the pain and swelling will start to decrease in minutes. 3. Yarrow. The soldier's herb yarrow contains compounds that genuinely shorten bleeding time and promote clotting. Soldiers throughout history carried dried yarrow to pack into wounds, and for good reason. It worked. What makes yarrow special is that it's both a hemostatic stops bleeding and a vulnerary with antimicrobial properties to prevent infection. Most plants do one or the other. Yarrow does both. For aloe vera, the cellular healing machine aloe is the plant used in the burial of Jesus. Where Nicodemus brought about 75 pounds of a mixture of myrrh and aloe, in the ancient world, aloe vera was understood to be one of the most powerful healing plants in existence. The clear gel inside the thick leaves contains over 75 active compounds, and clinical trials prove it speeds wound healing, reduces inflammation, and genuinely promotes tissue repair. 5. Fig, the prophet's poultice. When King Hezekiah was dying from a severe infected boil, the prophet Isaiah instructed, "Take a lump of figs," and applied it as a poultice, and the king recovered. Modern science has caught up. Figs contain compounds like ficin, sorellin, and benzaldehyde, with documented antimicrobial properties. Fresh fig latex has been shown in studies to inhibit bacterial growth and support skin healing. Top 6 to 10. Power from the ancient kitchen. 6. Raw honey, the MRSA killer. Raw honey is one of the most powerful natural antimicrobials ever studied. Clinical trials have confirmed it can kill antibiotic-resistant bacteria, including Mr. SA. It does this because it creates hydrogen peroxide on contact with tissue, has a low pH that kills pathogens, and contains a protein called defensin 1 that actively destroys bacteria. But you must use raw honey. Heating past 40 degrees Celsius destroys the enzymes and beneficial compounds that make it. Medicinal. 7. Garlic, the Egyptian medicine. Garlic has been studied more extensively than almost any other medicinal plant. Allicin, the compound created when garlic is crushed or chopped, is a broad-spectrum antimicrobial, active against bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Ancient Egyptian workers building the pyramids were given garlic rations to maintain their strength. An Egyptian medical papyri list garlic in over 20 medicinal preparations. 8. Onion, the pathogen enemy. Right alongside garlic, Onions contain many of the same beneficial sulfur compounds, along with quercetin, a powerful antioxidant. Research shows onions have genuine antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory benefits. During plague epidemics, people hung onions in rooms believing they would absorb disease. While the mechanism wasn't what they thought, onions do have antimicrobial properties. 9. Mustard, the biofumigant. Mustard isn't just a parable or a condiment. Both white and brown mustard act as biofumigants. When crushed, they release glucosinolates that break down into isothiocyanate, sulfur-based chemicals that act like natural fumigants to kill weed seeds and disease organisms in soil. On humans, mustard plasters have been used for centuries to treat respiratory congestion, increasing blood flow and bringing genuine anti-inflammatory effects. 10. Coriander, the ancient detoxifier. Coriander seed has been used in ancient medicine for digestive complaints and inflammatory pain. Modern research has found that coriander has genuine antimicrobial properties and may even help mobilize mercury and other heavy metals from tissues. Top 11 to 15, the purification spices. 11. Cumin, the daily healer. Cumin has been used medically for at least 4,000 years across the Middle East and North Africa. Modern research confirms it contains a compound called cuminaldehyde that has demonstrated antimicrobial effects against a wide range of bacteria and fungi. It also stimulates bile production and digestive enzyme activity. 12. Cassia and cinnamon, the sacred barks in biblical times. Cassia was so valuable that it was literally worth its weight in gold. Modern research shows both cassia and true cinnamon have antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and blood sugar regulating properties. The aromatic bark contains cinnamaldehyde and fights bacterial and fungal infections. 13. Cedar, the temple wood. Cedar of Lebanon was chosen for Solomon's temple, not just for its strength and beauty. Cedrus libani produces aromatic oils that repel insects, resist decay, and have genuine antiseptic effects. Research confirms that cedarwood essential oil has antibacterial and antifungal properties, actively fighting contamination and decay at a molecular level. 14. Hyssop. The purification herb hyssop appears in the most significant purification rituals in Scripture. Science confirms that hyssop contains carvacrol and thymol, the same antimicrobial compounds found in oregano and thyme. Studies have confirmed it has genuine antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties, and has even been shown to inhibit the herpes simplex virus. 15. Thyme. The antisenescence herb similar to hyssop. Thyme contains active compounds including thymol, carvacrol, and rosmarinic acid. Beyond fighting pathogens, thyme has demonstrated antimicrobial and immune-supporting properties that become increasingly important as immune function declines. The antioxidants protect against environmental damage, while the antimicrobial properties help maintain healthy skin. Top 16 to 20. The Superbug Destroyers. 1-6. Myrrh is a resin with profound antimicrobial and wound-healing properties. Ancient physicians used myrrh for cleaning wounds, treating infections, and maintaining oral health. Modern research confirms its genuine antibacterial and antifungal effects, showing it is effective against various bacteria and fungi, including some resistant strains. 17. Self-heal, the biofilm breaker. Living up to the most confident name in herbal medicine, self-heal. This plant was used for virtually any kind of wound, sore throat, or mouth ulcer. What modern research just validated is that self-heal has genuine wound-healing properties. Its anti-inflammatory effects, and even disrupts bacterial biofilms. These are the protective layers that bacteria create that make infections harder to treat, and this plant breaks them down. 18. Elecampane, the deep lung tonic. When herbalists needed to deal with a deep, stubborn lung infection or chronic bronchitis, they reached for elecampane root. The root contains compounds called sesquiterpene lactones that have cough-calming and antimicrobial effects. Recent research confirms its antimicrobial activity against respiratory pathogens, actively fighting the infection deep inside your lungs. 19. Usnea, the wilderness antibiotic. Technically, it's a lichen that grows hanging from trees like pale green hair. Usnea species contain ooznic acid, which has strong antimicrobial activity. Recent reviews show its effectiveness against bacteria, including some antibiotic-resistant strains. If you cut yourself on a hike, fresh Usnea can be moistened and applied directly to the wound as an antimicrobial dressing. 20. Barberry is the antibiotic-resistant destroyer. And here is number 20. The plant used for over 2,000 years that modern science just confirmed works. Against antibiotic-resistant bacteria, barberry. The bright yellow inner bark contains an alkaloid called berberine, one of the most studied plant compounds in modern medicine. Berberine has documented antimicrobial effects against bacteria, fungi, and parasites. With antibiotic resistance becoming a serious problem, berberine-containing plants like barberry are getting a second look. It's the ancient medicine that's becoming cutting edge again. Conclusion and call to ACTO and BIG. Pharma and synthetic antibiotics have saved many lives, but they've also created dependence and resistant superbugs. Meanwhile, these plants have been healing humans for thousands of years. It's validated by both traditional use and cutting-edge science. Nature provides complex formulations that bacteria find incredibly difficult to outsmart. Today, you learned what most people have no idea about. Healing doesn't always have to be expensive or come with unknown side effects. If this deep dive changed the way you think about medicine and nature, smash that like button. Drop a comment below and tell me, which primitive antibiotic are you most excited to try? Are you Team Myrrh, Team Garlic, or Team Self-Heal? I read every comment and I love hearing from you. And if you haven't subscribed to Ancient Herbal Wisdom, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. We're building a community that values connecting ancient healing wisdom with modern knowledge. See you in our next journey of discovery.